Hello, everyone. My name is James O'Keefe. And we're going to have a panel discussion here with Dinesh D'Souza, Ralph Benko, head of the Alinsky Foundation, and Mr. David Alinsky, son of Saul Alinsky. Saul Alinsky was a famous community organizer from Chicago. He started organizing in Chicago's back of the yards neighborhood, and he wrote a book called Rules for Radicals, which I hope many of you have read. I've read it many times. And whereas Machiavelli's The Prince was written on how to conserve power, Alinsky's Rules for Radicals was written on how to take power away. He talked about tactics, acts which human beings live with each other and deal with the world around them. He talks about how to take from the haves and give to the have-nots. And he said the world is divided between the haves and the have-nots. What made Alinsky's organizing abilities unique is he appealed to religious institutions by appealing to their self-interest. Many have criticized Alinsky for being antagonistic and even satanic. Some people said he dedicated his book to Lucifer. I'm sure the two on the end there would say that was more of a humorous thing that Alinsky did. Alinsky had enormous influence on Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Hillary wrote her thesis about Alinsky. Obama was a community organizer, in fact worked for Acorn as an attorney. Of course, Obama was forced to defund Acorn after some hidden videos came out, something like that. And we'll start with Dinesh D'Souza.
Thank you very much. Alinsky then tells Playboy in the interview, he says, you know, he goes, I really admired the way in which these gang members could shake down people and extract money and stuff out of them. The only downside is that every now and then they got shot. And then Alinsky realized that crime is actually very similar to politics. And so Alinsky realized, and again, I'm not divulging Alinsky's private thoughts. Alinsky says a lot of the things that I applied to community organizing, I learned from the mafia.
But this is typical Dinesh D'Souza confabulation of Saul Alinsky's legacy. Saul Alinsky was one of us. He was a classical liberal in the British sense of John Locke, Adam Smith, and the left has appropriated his identity and his work.
His interest was solely in providing a means, a way of thinking and organizing for all people, whether they be black or white, yellow or brown, American, Native American, or any other group, including libertarians. With no political power to gain for themselves a sufficiently meaningful measure of political influence that they could see a path forward to attain for themselves that measure of freedom, security, and independence that the haves have always exercised and have taken for granted as their birthright.
Thank you, everyone, for participating in a heartfelt discussion. I'll just end with this quote from Saul Alinsky, which hangs in my office. Actually, it's Thomas Paine, Saul Alinsky quoting Thomas Paine. Alinsky, not concerned about his reputation at all, saying, quote, "Let them call me rebel and welcome, I feel no concern from it, but I would suffer the misery of devils were I to make a whore of my soul." Saul Alinsky. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this.